Now that we have learned all about loops in Python, we are finally ready to tackle our final project of the day, which is the password generator. Our program will ask us how many letters would you like in your password. So I will say I would like a long password, let's say 14. How many symbols? 3. How many numbers? 4. And it's going to generate me a password that is almost completely impossible to crack by any hacker, no matter how talented they are. So the project of the today is to build this password generator. If you head over to this particular ripple.it password generator start, then you will see that here I have already included for you a list of all the letters in the alphabet from A to Z, including the uppercase and lowercase letters. I have got a bunch of numbers and a bunch of symbols that are usually accepted in websites, and I have also created the inputs that you saw when we did the demo. So it's going to ask us how many letters, how many symbols, how many numbers, and then you are going to turn all of that knowledge as well as using these lists and what you have learned about loops into the same password generator that you saw in the final demo. So have a play around with the final demo as you can see, and then have a think about how you might be able to achieve this, creating a random password for the user based on the numbers of letters, symbols and numbers that they want. Now there is two levels to this project. You can either go for the easy version where all you have to do is generate your password in sequence. So for example, if the user wanted 4 letters, 2 symbols and 2 numbers, then it might just look like this 4 letters and then 2 symbols and then 2 numbers. So they are in sequence, right? First you have got the letters, then you have got the numbers of required symbols, and then you have got the required numbers. So this is the easy level. And then there is the hard level, and the hard level requires you to generate the password in a completely random order. So instead of having it being letter, symbol, number, it should be maybe letter and then symbol and then a number, then a letter, then a symbol and then a number. But notice how this is completely random. Every single time you generate it, the order of where the symbols and where the numbers appear in your password are completely random. So for example, if you look at the demo version and I do the same thing, 4 letters, 2 symbols, 2 numbers, where the numbers and where the symbols occurs are completely unpredictable, and every single time I generate a new password, it's going to switch it up again. And so that's the hard level. I recommend trying the easy level first, and then once you have managed to do it, then take yourself up to the hard level if you think you are up to it. But remember that if you doing this, you might have to do a little quick google around in order to figure out how to do something that you might not have seen before. But it's all part of the challenge, and I hope you will take it on with this. So pause the video now and try to complete the final project. Do it yourself. Alright, so let's first tackle the easy level where we are just generating a password with the required number of letters and then the required number of symbols and then the required numbers of numbers. So let's go ahead and tackle this one first. Now we know that we have got this list which we can draw from, and we know that we can use the random module to get hold of a random item from the list. So all we have to do is first get 4 random letters. So let's say that we had a password which just started out as an empty string. Then we can use a for loop to loop through all of the characters that we needed to create for our password. For example, I might say for char short for character in the range of from 1 to the number of letters that the user wanted. So in this case, if the user wanted 4 letters, then it will be a range from 1 to 4, but not including 4. So it's actually from 1 to 3, which has only 3 characters. In order to modify this, we have to do what we did always before, which is just to add 1 to the end of our range. So now we are going to create a range based on the number of letters that the user wanted, and I am just going to go along with the assumption that the number of letters equals 4. Let's just pretend that, so then this range becomes 1 to 4 plus 1, which is 5. So the range is in fact going to be 1 to 4 for every single number in that range from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, and I am going to generate them a random letter. So I am gonna pick it out of this list of letters. To do that, I can either generate a random number and use it as the index, or you might have seen previously, I showed you the random.choice function, and inside this random.choice function we can pass a sequence, which in our case is the letters list. Then it will look through this list of letters and it will give us a random item from that list. So now that random letter is going to be something that we are going to need add to our password, right? So we can set this equal to a random character, and now let's go ahead and just print it out right now. So let's say we want 4 letters in our password, and we can type anything for the other ones, but notice how when the 4 loops, it's given us some random characters that expect out of our letters list. So there's a capital P, there's a D, and there's a capital J. How can we add each of these letters to our password? Well, we can use the string concatenation that we learned every early on in day 1. We can say password equals the previous password plus the random character. Of course, the shortened version of this is just password plus equal to random character. And now let's go ahead and instead of printing the random character, let's print the password at each stage of the loop. And again, I am going to choose 4 letters, and you can see that the first time the loop runs, I get an M, so password is equal to M. The second time I get a Q, so I add the Q into the M, I get MQ, and so on and so forth until I get these 4 characters in the beginning of what seems to be my random password that's going to be generated. Right now, if you wanted to, you can actually simplify this down to just one step, because instead of having this intermediary, which is a random character variable, we can simply just replace it with a code like this. So in this case, we are getting a random choice from our letters list. So we get a random letter and then we add that to our password. Now that we have done that for the letter, then it's pretty easy to see how we can continue doing this for the symbol, the numbers. We just have to keep adding it to the end of our password. So let me quickly write out code, and so now when the user prepares that they want 4 letters in their password, then we generate a range from 1 to 5, and then for each of those positions we generate a random letter in order to fill the password, and then we add on the required number of symbols and the required number of numbers, and finally we print out the final password. So let's go ahead and run this code, and again I'm going to choose 4 letters, 2 numbers and 2 symbols, and I end up with my final password. which fits exactly that criteria and looks pretty random. But the only problem is that if a hacker knew that you always have two symbols at this position and two numbers at this position, then it's very easy to crack that password, because in order to get the last digit, for example, they only have to try 9 different variations, 12, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and this just limits the strength of your password. In order to tackle that, you would have to tackle it at the hard level, which is how do you get a password that has all these letters and numbers in a completely random order. To do that, we mentioned that you have to do a bit of googling things, something that you have not done before, but in essence you have got access to everything you need to perform the logic. So if you have not given that a go, then this might be a good time to pause and have a think about how you would structure the logic, or how you might create a flow chart to express this logic that you would want. And once you have done that, and if you want to see the solution and walk through it, then come back here and I will show you how to do it. But first give it a go. Right. Alright, in order to tackle the harder level, what we essentially need to do is, instead of adding each of these letters into a string, we actually want to add it into a list. So I'm going to copy all of this that's here, and I'm just gonna comment it out, and I'm going to pass it under my hard level, work on it here. So instead of using a password string, I'm going to create a list, and to better describe it, I will change my variable name, the password list. So now instead of using password to add each of these letters and numbers and symbols, I'm going to be adding it to my list. Right. Okay. Now to add things to a list, you can use the same syntax that you did with strings, which is to add the new item into the list and to update the old list. You might be more familiar with the syntax, which is append and both of these work. You can use either of them if you want, but they will end up doing the same thing, which is to add each of those things you have generated in the order that you have generated to your password. So we end up now with a list with 4 letters, 2 symbols and 2 numbers, all stored as strings because of the quotation marks around them. So now that we have got a list, well, then we have to think about well, how can we shuffle our list, how can we mess up the order of the items in our list, and that might take you to Google, and you might search for something like, now to change the order of items in a list, how to change the order of items in a list. And then we also have to add our keyword, which is Python, because there's obviously a lot of other programming languages, and we come up against our first step overflow question. How can I record a list when that sounds kind of like what I so that. So if we scroll down, you can see that the way to do it either using a for loop. You can see that the way like so, and to simply use the shuffle function, and this is a much simpler way because it allows us to update the existing list just by calling the shuffle function on it. And this is actually requires us to create a new list, and we have to create a bunch of random numbers in the order, and then to reorder them using a for loop. So I'm going to go with this version, and let's try it out. Instead of printing password list, let's print the password list before the shuffle, and then let's use the random.shuffle and pass in the password list, and then let's print the outcome of that shuffle. So let's print the password list again, and so now you can use that. We have got a version before, and then we have got a version after. So if I run my code and I write again 4 letters, 2 symbols, two numbers. You can see that previously it was ordered in the order that we added each of the characters. After the shuffle, they are now pretty much random. There's letters in random places, there's symbols in random places. So if only we could turn this back into a string, then we have got our password that's nicely shuffled. So how we can turn it back into a string? We could simply use a for loop, that we could say for each characters in the password list, and we are going to add it to a variable called a password, which is going to start off again as an empty string, and then we are going to add to it. So we are going to say password plus equal to char in our password list. And now if I go ahead and just print my final password, I'm going to add an f string as well. Let's say your password is and then let's insert the password. And now if I run my code and let's see, I want 12 letters, okay, 3 symbols and 4 numbers, okay, and then it's going to generate me an entire password. Okay, that's completely randomized in terms of the orders of the symbols and the numbers. And I have now solved the hard part of this challenge project. Did that make sense to you? Did you manage to get it to do what you want it to do? If you are at all confused about the code, then be sure to check out the final project that I have got here, which is the app generator, and take a look at how the easy level is implemented, how the hard level is implemented, and try switching it around so that you really get to understand it. Try instead of maybe getting the user to tell you how many letters, how many symbols, how many numbers, instead just define those yourselves or use a random number of letters, numbers or symbols, play around with the code until it starts doing what you want it to do and it starts making sense. But I hope you had fun building this project with me today and learning all about loops. On the next lesson, we are going to learning more about these things that we have been using a lot, which is Python functions. So I am going to bid you good night for today, and hopefully I will see you bright and early tomorrow. And we'll learn some more new skills and work on some new projects. That's all from me. Good night from my side.